We started when I come home in about 1993. Me and old Russell Graham started weed spraying for Cookshire Council, and we went to a weed symposium in Townsville. It was one of the first years I was with them, and they started showing us some of the techniques and the machines that they were using to get rid of water lettuce, which was on the Bowley River. And this was one of the symposiums that we attended, and in those days all we did was spray weeds. I haven't got any early photos where we first started because we never ever took photos in those days. And anyway, when we went to this, it sort of really got my imagination going, and I thought that I might be able to do something for the environment or give back a little bit of what I take out. And then once my knowledge grew through the old people teaching me, I decided, and the bummer groups decided that they wanted to hear what we have to say. So we've worked all over the peninsula, straight from over Cooktown to, this is our chairman, our acting chairman, who's not here tonight. He first started with us, and that's about how primitive our infrastructure had in the early days. We used to do everything the hard way. But our main focus was on weeds and feral animals in the Cape, from Cooktown to Kowanyama, right up to the islands. A lot of this stuff, everywhere we went, a lot of people, every time we got there to do weed control, it was always this time of the year when it was hot, and we got burnt out. And a lot of the reasons that they did it were stupid things like, oh, we got to burn it because we can't see where we're going. Or the other one was, there's snakes. And this is some of the work that we did up at MPA with the pond apple. And what we were striving there was, we were part of the original task force to get rid of pond apple throughout Queensland by 2021. Now that hasn't happened because of various reasons or whatever, but we did try, and Josh was our pretty boy. We've also been involved with the Tropical Weeds Research Centre, and we have done a lot of work on biocontrol. This was one on Ngura Burr that we had in the Laura River that Alan was alluding to before. We've had limited success, but we keep trying, and we have done it with the bellyache bush on the Palmer. We have, and also the leaf mining fly with the lantana. Now these photos are not real professional. I just point and press the trigger. But some of our work has been successful and some of it has not. It's all a learning process with weeds and feral animals, but we try and use nature to belt nature, if you know what I mean. And this is some of the groups that I've trained up in the agricultural, chemical and distribution of the chemical, like Lama Lama Mob, and people that are there on country all day, every day, and their focus is, because they live there, they want to make their environment better. And if I can help people do that, I would like to keep trying to do it. I mean, we have deal with all sorts of animals. Could be pigs, horses, or alpacas, or llamas, or whatever. But yeah, the point being is that everyone makes an impact, and we try and work with what we have. I just thought that was quite a thing that in the early days we just had beef cattle, horses, and whatever. Now we have alpacas coming into the peninsula. This is a project that we did out at Green Hills in the early days, and this was when the technology was evolving. That's when we first started to map things so that we had a permanent record on what people were doing and where it was, and we could go back to it. And that was the reason for the follow-up. Same with our feral animals. This sort of here, you can see the damage that they're doing down here. We were keen to try and stop that. But because pigs move all the time, we had to have records. And that mapping that I just showed you before is the reason why, so that we know what's going on. And you can see the damage, and we've worked a lot with Jason to try and stop that. Along the way we've had a few obstacles, like getting bogged, especially when old hippies from out the road force you off the road in the middle when you're trying to get out to a job. But with weeds and feral animals, it's not easy work, and we always have challenges in front of us. But at the end of the day, we're working with people on the ground, and we always have some very big wins, like we did up at Calpower when we fenced off cattle, and we put up the new signs to make tourists aware where we were at. And the point, and we're hopefully moving into the stage where we're educating everyone on how to stop weeds and feral mammals moving into our environment. This one here that we worked on, we fenced off this from pigs and horses and everything else because this was an ancient story site. It was a magpie dreaming up at Cape Melville that we fenced off. And what it does is to preserve that space and that story place for people. And this is the crew that we did it with way back. Now, I've only been around 3 years, so it's really not really long. I mean, we first started in 1993, but at least these people now, with the help that we have given them, they take pride in what they do. And if we can give them the means to do it, I'm more than happy to try. And as you can see there, that was the gamba grass up in MPA back in 2005. And this young fella here, he was so passionate about it that he used to come up, he used to call us up at 10 o'clock at night and said, when are we starting work? So if we can make that passion available to people throughout the Cape, it helps the environment as well. And we do try and educate, and sometimes we went down to the the field days in Mariba to try and promote what we do and hopefully get the message out some way. Whether it's worked or not, I don't know, but one likes to think that you've made a difference. Now that I'm getting a little bit long in the tooth, we've moved into helping other groups with our knowledge, and hopefully the other groups can help us get the message out as well. This was the AGM at Laura for Cape York NRM, and I think if we can get the message out to most people, and that's just our AGM, we had an interested group of landholders which want to help us out as a community group. Over the time it's grown. I think when we first started off, I think Jason was about our biggest fan. Now we probably have about 20 or so that are engaged or on board with us, plus all the people here tonight. So that's about him.